from the crises I manage room to read through, as I mentioned, so much of it is about communication and transparency at the beginning. No one's expecting any single person to be a hero through this. We are all, being faced with an onslaught of so many different levels of challenges now. I think we have to be really open about where we're succeeding and where we need help. I think that is even more so in a crisis, right? We can't be all things to all people. And so, each of us has a role, to play in the education sector. And do we know what we do, better than most? And it's also a real passion and drive of the organization. And to be very focused on being able to stay true to your mission and not get swayed by too many other activities or pulled in too many directions.
What would you say is the role of philanthropy in times like this?
We as philanthropists have to, think about both sides of the equation of both governments and the NGO kind of community of practice that we work in, because I think there are important ways that we can support both of those. And, certainly I think we need to understand and align ourselves with, as we're saying, where governments are and how can we help be thought partners and potentially funders of new and innovative approaches that maybe they're more willing to take now. That deficit mindset, if we have in many cases where we think that somehow nonprofits are not going to be able to be well run and well managed and don't understand the realities, I just think it's a false narrative. I mean, I really think that in many cases you see nonprofits on slimmer budgets, on fewer staff, doing heroic activities and managing to be innovative and contextualize in very, relevant ways in country contexts that you don't see often even for-profit companies doing, right? And it's amazing what you can see happen, particularly in a time of crisis. You see how scrappy and how, effective still nonprofits can be in moments like this. I think Winston Churchill had the quote, don't let a crisis go to waste, right? So, are there opportunities now that we are seeing that where governments are willing to experiment and try new things? On the community of practice side, though, as philanthropy, we have an important role to play in ensuring that they have the resources just to manage through this crisis. Because there are, as a sector, they're so vulnerable. I think in moments like this, what we don't want to see is a lot of great initiatives and programs and organizations not being able to survive a crisis like this. But one of the things that I think is really important at this time is that we are, I think, embracing the inequality and the injustices on so many different levels in the world right now, whether they be based on gender or race or class, wealth. I mean, there's so many things that we are seeing are we're being challenged to think about and embrace. Like, is this the world that we want to live in? And to me, I think this is a huge opportunity to realize, there's an intersectionality to all of it, right? And how do we, if we want to live in a different world, how do we create that world now?